Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you are doing well. A lot of people aren't doing well right now. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about markets. We're going to do a brief overview. We're going to talk about silver. We're going to talk about Carvana. We're going to talk about the markets as a whole. There's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I want people to understand that there is, if you feel in your gut like this is sort of a coordinated attack being done on purpose, I do believe it is. We've seen this many times before in the last 20 years where the market doesn't like what's going on and they want to start throwing a temper tantrum. We're seeing everything from Coinbase saying, hey, we could go bankrupt to, crypto selling off massively because of the stable coins being depegged. We are seeing the stock market getting hammered with horrible earnings. We've been preparing you guys for that. Again, I still don't think this is it, the big one. I think it will get worse over the next couple of weeks. Again, none of this is trading advice or financial advice. We're going to talk about life advice, controlling our emotions, because there are deals to be made right now, but there's even going to be more deals when the bottom drops out later on in the year, going into next year. All right, so let's just dive right in. We're going to start talking about some of these things, talk through some of these issues. All right, so right now we're just going up to the main page of CNBC as of the recording of this video, and I'm going to try and get it out literally as soon as possible as I finish this. Dow Jones off almost 500 points, S&P down a little over almost 2%, and NASDAQ getting hammered at about almost 2% as well. NASDAQ keeps getting hit, and I want people to remember too, we've talked about crypto before. I do believe that crypto is going to be worth a lot more in the future. Big solid, projects, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digibyte, Theta, XRP, all those kind of stuff, right? Big boys. But I said it is really tied to the stock market, and we are seeing that. Now, it's only been made worse just recently because of what's going on with Terra Luna, but I'm telling you right now that is really the reason why you started seeing the cryptos downturn a couple of weeks ago, is because of this right here, okay? So let's jump into a Carvana. Now, Carvana stock is all of a sudden acting like a meme stock, and it's getting a little nutty, but there's a lot going on in the background, okay? Now, it is true. Carvana has a massive short position, and it's going through a short squeeze. And we just saw the stock halted right here after a 40% upward surge. How nice is that? Your stock's going down, and all of a sudden it takes off because of a short squeeze, and then they stop it. Well, let me tell you the truth of what's going on. That means the institution, some big boy somewhere got hit, and that's why it's being halted. That is what's really gnarly and scary about these markets. They're not real. We're going to dive into precious metals in a second, which are not real too, but there's two components of precious metals. There's something that's real and then there's something that's not. But let's talk about Carvana, because we talked about this, and I actually put up a video, but I can't share it right now because the way my mic is acting, I've got to figure something out. But I did a video about cars and should you buy a car in November, I believe it was. And I said, no, wait till the spring, because cars are going to start collapsing. I gave a couple of reasons, and I want to share that video. I'll do it a little bit later when I get my mic situation figured out, because I could show you that, we were able to nail that one, right? Car sales are abysmal, and there's a couple different reasons, but right here, check this out. Carvana fires 2,500 workers, some via Zoom. This just came out today, and I want people to gloss over the headline and look into the meat. The reason why they had to sell all of these, or I'm sorry, let all these people off, is because right now they're blaming a recession in auto sales, right? Said they cut 2,500 jobs, but it's because straight up people are not buying cars. Now, Carvana, I will argue, is one of the craziest thoughts experiments ever when it comes to used car sales, literally, or new, making a vending machine out of cars. I mean, the whole business plan for that is so not labor intensive, but I mean, it's super, like the technology and the infrastructure is immense for one of those vending machines. It's quite impressive. I'd love to own one of those vending machines when they go bankrupt, which they will. And maybe we'll just put like ninjas in every single little level. I don't know. We'll have some fun with it. But the point being is that they're selling, not only because, it's a really weird business plan, but also it is, if you think about it, there's just nobody buying cars. You have a couple different dynamics going on. You've got inflation and you have interest rates rising, right? Which both of those, so car prices were rising, interest rates rising, right? Sounds a lot like home sales. And people stop buying cars. They just don't have the money. They care more about the gas going into the car and the food going into their stomachs. And that is exploding in price. So they care less about going and buying new cars. Just like real estate, they're going to fix up what they already have and they're going to sit tight. Okay. So that is what is really going on behind the scenes. But at the same time, you're watching the stocks literally get hammered because they're literally halting trading, right? That adds a lot of stress onto the investor because you just don't know which way to go. We're going to pop back over to CNBC and just look at this right here. I got to do some of that pop-up blocker. Okay, watch this. Twitter's market cap has dropped to 9 billion below Musk's purchase price as concerns emerge. We're just going to go through some headlines, right? Bill Miller says he sold some Bitcoin to meet margin calls, but remains long-term. Cool. So that's sort of positive, right? But this one's negative. Then you look at these things are changing so fast. It's crazy. Here, where is it? Terra stablecoin. So what this week's Terra stablecoin fiasco means for crypto and what investors can learn from it. A lot of money, I believe it was $200 billion wiped off of the market cap of crypto. I want to say yesterday, I think that happened in just one day. It was absolutely just horrendous. One of the bigger sell-offs I've ever seen. It isn't the biggest yet. The biggest is when I saw Bitcoin roll down 21%, I believe it was in one day. It was between 19 or 21%. Again, GameStop and AMC shares are popping right now because of short squeezes, right? Can't make this stuff up. Twitter freezing hiring and cutting costs as executives depart. Why would they have to cut costs? You know, think about this. There's less money going into advertising as these economic cycles turn over and fear builds. Again, I don't think it's going to be forever, but it is going to be absolutely crazy. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to talk about silver because this is something that's really important because if you look at just the normal markets, right? Today you have all the indices pretty much down, all of them down. You've got bonds down, the yields are down, which is really interesting to me. And the Dixie right now is hitting not an all-time high, but it's hitting a trend line, a resistance point, okay? It's bumping resistance right now, trying to get through because what's happening is as everybody's freaking out over the world's economies and the downturns in our stock market, they're having margin calls, they're selling their assets to raise dollars. So that's putting a demand on dollars. That's why dollars are going up in value, right? Well, you look over here at gold, gold's having an abysmal day. And I'm going to share what happened in 2008. And we're going to shed a little light on it. So right now, gold's down almost 2%, silver's down 4%. And a lot of people are going, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Let me remind you of what happened here leading up to the Lehman Brothers crisis. So in 2005, this is the silver chart. We're going to use silver because silver is more volatile. I like to use silver prices. And I love silver more than gold. I like gold too. I got them both. So you could see, you know, as interest rates were starting to climb, they bottomed out and they started to run up, interest rates on mortgages, right? You also saw the price of silver started to rise. Well, by the time we started having problems, December of 2007, I want to remind you, in 2007 was ending. I want to remind you, it was actually in the spring around here of 2007 that everyone was given stimulus checks, right? And that means the economy was in very bad shape. But if you notice, like that's when the stimulus checks were, silver was just chugging up. So gold was also, all right? It wasn't until the world figured out, oh man, we're in a recession that we started having problems. So around February 2008, we peaked like 27 bucks for silver. And then what we saw is an epic decline going. And remember, right after this, when silver peaked, this was your Bear Stearns moment right here. This is when Bear Stearns went out of business. All right. We saw a little bit of a reprieve, popped up a little bit into June and July. But I want to remind you what happened then. That is when gasoline hit an all-time high across the country. Now, we've since blown past that. But remember, I've told you that this time is going to mirror Lehman Brothers, both the inflation to deflationary cycle, the crash, and then the spike again in precious metals, but it's going to be like a 10x. All right. So right here, July is when we had peak gasoline in June, July. Semi trucks are pulling off on the side of the road. People were freaking out. They said, we cannot make money at these prices, similar to what's going on right now. Now, this price dump is what everybody freaked out about, but you shouldn't have. And the reason why is silver went from 23 down to 13 bucks. At that time, you could not go into a coin store and buy a silver eagle for $13 or $15. As a matter of fact, they were still $20 to $21. The price did not change for physical. Because why? Everybody ran to precious metals during this time, this recession, right? As, okay, it's in the news, it's actually happened. Well, the crash happened literally back here, mid 2005, right? Here is when everything started to go to crap, all right? So everybody went to their safe haven assets. Gold started to go up and all that stuff. But here, this is the date. It's really important. October 2008 is when the paper price for silver and gold bottomed. All right. That's when it bottomed. Then they started taking off in a terror for a few years, right? 3-year stint. They just took off. Then you obviously saw what happened down here. Now, again, I believe you're about to see something that is going to make this run up look small. However, in the short term, you are going to see price weakness. We've talked about this before. Now, many of you might be thinking, well, Ninja, let me pop off this real quick. Why would you talk about buying precious metals if you knew they were going to go down? This is why. There is a day where you will not be able to obtain precious metals at what you think the right price is today. And let me explain that a little bit. Precious metals will always be around at the right price, but during panic is when everything goes parabolic. And you saw that panic set in 2021 when, and you saw Wall Street Silver come across when that happened. When markets really started to get rattled in 2020, they all bottomed. But then by 2021, we started seeing people diving into precious metals because they said, something's broke. There's no way governments and central banks are gonna be able to fix this. We're diving into precious metals. What you saw the premium explode. Why? Because the demand was so great. The spot price meant nothing, absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, even before this time, you couldn't just go and buy a COMEX bar off of the internet or a dealer because they were only there. They were so big. You buy them at spot. You would take delivery of COMEX bars through big futures contracts. Now, silver is in such demand. These large resellers of silver are out there buying up futures contracts, taking delivery from the COMEX and selling these 1,000-ounce bars just because people are trying to get away from some of the premium. But it's like, in the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's gonna be pretty brilliant because the COMEX is being drained and we're seeing inventory levels drained, right? Well, now, if silver tomorrow went to $100, what do you think is going to happen? A lot of people are going to sell their silver. So there's going to be silver at the right price. The problem is it's called price discovery for a reason. We need to discover what that price is. And right now, there's no shortage of people. And ironically, I'm telling you this on a down day. There's no shortage of people that have no problem buying up silver. And the proof is in the premiums. Now, the premiums have spiked up around, March 7th, and they really haven't relented since then. So the demand's been pretty solid. But I have to tell you, the retail trader, silvers came down like $3 or $4, right? And the premiums did the same. So if you add the premium plus the spot price, you come to X. Well, since the spot price has dropped a few dollars, so let's say $4, $5 over the last couple of months, the retail investor is not there. Those are the speculators, people trying to make the quick buck. The investors are out there buying up silver because they're like, hey, look, if you take the total price, it's dropped $5. That's a great value right now. I am a buyer. And so that's the thing that you need to understand. There's still going to be, and especially as this market crashes, hedge funds, mutual funds, pension funds, all these funds, they're out selling their insurance right now because they're getting margin calls. And you're going to see more and more of that in the news over the next week. Margin call, because their portfolios of Apple and all these tech stocks are dropping. So they have to raise money. Well, what do? Well, these funds are invested in paper precious metals like GLD and SLV. So they are literally liquidating their positions. That's why you're seeing the price weakness in the spot, right? Then they're taking that and they're raising dollars, and the demand for the dollars is so great. The DXY, the basket of currencies against the dollar, right? So it's a dollar versus other currencies, which is primarily weighted against the euro, okay? And the euro is sort of a basket case right now, but that's okay. Everything's a basket case. All currencies are crazy, right? Because they're fake, they're fiat, they're nothing. And people are losing confidence, but the value, that DXY is strong. So when you measure gold, silver, Bitcoin, all kinds of natural resources. When the dollar's strong, those are weaker. That's how it works. So do expect more volatility, but the reason why you buy now and not later is because you just want to secure it. Because what happens is I truly believe, this is not financial advice, I believe that there will be a day when you see a $50 spot price for silver and an ounce will cost you 100 bucks. I'm not joking. That is absolutely, I believe, going to end up being the case. And we've seen this before. Right now, Silver Eagle premiums are like, I don't even know what they are right now, but they're probably well over 10 bucks. Comment in the comment section below what they are. The point being is we've seen this in 2015 when the market started to get tight too, and people are getting agitated or nervous. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I hope it answers some questions. Please let me know in the comment section if it did or if it didn't. Give me your honest opinion. I do appreciate that. To all the subscribers in this channel, I appreciate you. I would be nowhere on this platform without you guys. You're awesome. I hope you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.